Hey, it's Nikachu, and today we are going to take a look at MTG players who cheated because they thought no one was looking. Except they forgot one thing. They're on camera! So in the right corner, wearing the bright green sweater, we've got our villain, and he is on Jeskai control. The point of this deck is to control the board with burn spells and counter spells. His opponent on the left is on Ad Nauseam, a dangerous combo deck that can consistently win by turn 4. So the villain needs to act quickly, but they're a control deck. How are they gonna beat down their opponent? But he does have access to Geist of Saint Traft, that when it attacks with an angel in the air for a total of 6 damage. That's a lot of damage. But he doesn't have many Geists in his deck. How is he gonna find it? Let's go take a look.
Seriously? Yep. Let's go. No, sorry. Go. Go. Oh, you would keep yourself.
Sure. So you're gonna
I'm gonna stay at 20. I'm just gonna fetch shock point you, so I'll stay at 20 anyway. Okay. And then that'll resolve me at 15. Taking cryptic?
Yes.
Alright, it's in the air.
Scry.
Shoot.
Ha! Nice draw.
That's not a bad draw. I like draw.
Sure.
So let's dissect what had happened. Our hero plays Thoughtseize, which lets him look at his opponent's hand and take any non-land card. Now, whenever you're allowed to look at your opponent's hand, you're allowed to write down every single card revealed. You can use that information for the future. But this is where our villain found an opportunity. While the hero was busy writing down all the cards in his opponent's hand, our villain realizes the opponent is distracted and decides to fetch for his land, but at the same time finds his Geist of Saint Traft, puts it to the top of his deck, shuffles in a way keeping the Geist of Saint Traft on top, does not present the deck to his opponent for a cut or shuffle, leaving the Geist of Saint Traft on top. And voila! Geist of Saint Traft coming right up!
Ha! Nice draw.
That's not a bad draw. I like draw.
Sure. That's what I was looking for, really. I would have actually took that over the cryptic.
That's cheating! And thanks to the extra pressure, our villain was able to win this game and match. But we all know cheaters, once they start, they can't stop. So in the top 8 of this event, our villain is now up against our hero who is on Tron. The strategy to this deck is to assemble Urza's Tower, Urza's Mine, and Urza's Power Plant. With all 3 of them together, they can add 7 mana, with the purpose of playing gigantic powerful spells like Karn Liberated, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. But our villain's control deck has a plan, and that plan is Crumble to Dust. Exile target non-basic land, search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that land, and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Together, the Urza lands can add 7 or more mana, but if you exile one of them from the game, then the rest of them only add 1, stranding the super expensive cards in the player's hand. But there's only a few copies of Crumble to Dust in the deck. However, will our villain find it? I'm sure by now you know how this is gonna play out.
Okay.
Try mine as well.
You're gonna hold contact.
That's your number. That's what they're selling for. Well, how much do you have? Oh, this is. I thought we were gonna. No. How much did you want to get for it? Oh, I was 375.
Yeah. They were right next to each other in the deck, but they were like on bottom.
Good. You're good, yeah.
Go.
A few moments later.
Your turn.
There was only one service I could use. One service I could
Crumble.
You can tell how much of a cheater this guy is just based on how hard he's flicking the cards in his hand. He's not paying attention to his hand or the game at all. He's just thinking about cheating. Our villain would go on to win this game and match, and in fact, they ended up winning the entire tournament. But obviously, you can't hide from the cameras, and the overwhelming evidence found on video got this guy banned for 18 months. Our next cheater is none other than former pro Magic the Gathering player Dan Lanthier. Dan on the right is playing Dredge. The strategy to this deck is to mill cards from your library into your graveyard and then resurrect them onto the battlefield. But occasionally, the Dredge deck backfires on you. Dan has a Wooded Foothills in play, and he needs a green source for his Life from the Loam that he's gonna put back into his hand. But the problem is both Stomping Grounds are in the graveyard, not in his deck. How on earth is he going to fix this precarious position of his? Let's take a look. Did you catch it? Dan loses 1 life when he cracks his Wooded Foothills. His opponent briefly distracted updating the life totals. Dan puts the Stomping Ground back in the deck. He then proceeds to pretend to look for a Stomping Ground, finding eventually a Copperline Gorge, which isn't even fetchable, then plays the Stomping Ground instead, making it look like that was the card he was searching for the entire time. But here's the thing. This match wasn't just caught on camera. It was being streamed live to the entire world. Nothing gets past Twitch chat, and the judge was notified.
Unfortunately, I have to give you a match for that.
Okay. I mean, I fumbled with some cards game 1. There was a card that I deemed to have fallen from the deck, that I put in the deck. I have, no comment. I accept it. I understand, so.
He's receiving a match loss, so you win this round.
So Dan Lanthe receives a match loss for cheating. So is it time to come clean? Nah, he's just gonna try to cover it up.
You're going to see a video that looks really bad on me. It looks way worse than it is, but that does not change the severity of my actions. I did not need that land. I tried to correct a game state that wasn't broken, and I did so knowing that I was breaking a rule. I made a statement on Twitter but will certainly serve a suspension and deserve as much. I'm sorry that someone you all know is getting publicity like this. The accomplishments that you know me for are otherwise genuine, but I can't blame you for doubting that now. This is not something I ever thought I'd deal with, but have to own it just the same. The frustration that I feel for this particular situation pales in comparison to the frustration that I've compromised the trust of others.
How many stomping grounds did you run?
3.
I'd like to believe you that it wasn't deliberate, but I'm struggling to find lists that run 3.
I want to give you the benefit of the doubt on this, but it is so hard watching this video. If there was a third stomping ground, why would you shift through the entire deck as if looking for one, pull out the copper line on top, then pull the stomping ground you just put back in play? I really hope you find the proof of the third one.
So Dan offered his deck list as evidence and presented a picture with 3 stomping grounds and 2 arid mesas. So was this Dan Lantier's real deck list? Well, our lie detectors have determined that that was a lie. Video footage during his match proved that there actually were 3 arid mesas in his deck, as he had dredged them all into his graveyard. So he lied about his deck list, which means he lied about trying to correct a game state, which means he was just caught red-handed cheating. Wizards Tower, which is where the event was held, issued a statement. Statement regarding player Dan Lanthier. On Saturday, October 13th, during our Modern event, Dan Lanthier was caught manipulating his deck during a match. After the event, the incident was reviewed by the owner and local level 2 judge, and he was disqualified from the event. The behavior and actions exhibited are unacceptable to anyone at the Wizards Tower and will not be tolerated. Wizards Tower always strives and works towards creating a safe and fun environment for all staff and customers in our store. This incident was not representative of this, and we have given a lifetime ban to Dan Lanthier from playing any events at our store.
Very well done, Wizards Tower, doing what Hasbro/Wizards of the Coast doesn't dare.
Good riddance, you guys did the right thing, now waiting for Face-to-Face to dump him.
Well, you didn't have to wait long, because Face-to-Face, which was Dan's sponsor, issued a statement. Statement regarding previously sponsored player Dan Lanthier. Dan Lanthier, former Magic the Gathering Canadian champion, has been accused of cheating after a stream this weekend contained video of him intentionally altering a game state to his advantage. Dan Lanthier has been sponsored by FaceToFaceGames.com in the past on numerous occasions. Currently, Dan Lanthier is not sponsored or endorsed in any way by FaceToFaceGames.com. So Wizards of the Coast did ban Dan, however only temporarily, but with all the writing on the wall, Dan turned himself in.
To whom it may concern, this past Saturday I performed an illegal action in a DCI sanctioned tournament. The action itself and subsequent misinformation that was shared, which to this point are all very well documented, stand in complete defiance not only to tournament Magic policy, but my past accomplishments honestly earned and the moral code I hold for myself. I can't explain or justify my actions, but know that I am deeply remorseful and regret that all of the personal development that I have worked for in the last several years is left diminished as a result. Cheating has no place in Magic. I am not the first player to ever break the rules of the game, and I most certainly will not be the last. As many have noted in wake of this and past events, playing competitive Magic is a privilege, not a right. Having squandered that privilege, I ask that beginning with me and going forward, that the penalty be permanent suspension from organized Magic. My hope is that this provides a strong deterrent for anyone in a similar situation to mine to be tempted and make the same mistake. resulting in a healthier Magic experience for everybody. Dan Lanthier.
So Dan quietly left the Magic community on his own terms. Remember, do not cheat. It is a disrespect to your opponent, it is a disrespect to the community, and it is a disrespect to the entire game. You can end up cheating yourself because, like what happened to Dan, once you're caught, all your past accomplishments will be put into question. Well, that's my video for today. What do you think should be the penalty for cheaters? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash like for banning cheaters, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or your opponent's top decks will all be nightmares.